the big key for us was communication, and communicating constantly with our staff, with the members, to let them know the plans, updates. As much as we all saw the updates from either England Golf or the PGA, the members were still, we found, very, very reliant on us for that sort of information. And even in basic terms, you know, can I travel? I'm in this region, am I allowed to travel that? So even that, you were almost fielding calls as well. So from that perspective, I think it was straightforward in terms of operationally. It was just handling the expectations and actually coaching them through what they could and couldn't do. We spent a lot more time, I guess, on almost like a pre-event call. You know, it would be like, hi, Michael, how are you doing? Are you coming tomorrow? Yes, I see you've got 3 guests. Can I have the names, the contact details of those 3 guests? And it was a bit sometimes, well, why? But then once people get into it and understood it more, actually that then helped us from a service perspective, because then when the customer came through the front door, or through the drive from the first initial touch point, Michael was a member, but then when his guests arrived, it was much more personable, where we could then welcome the guest to say, welcome to the club. We then were scripted in terms of what people could and couldn't do in terms of coming down drive. Things like our touch points, say the bag drop wasn't open. And there was that, because we took that from, say, hotels. When you went into a hotel now, nobody could touch your bags. So we had to take that element away. People quite quickly got used to that, but it was still the balance of that as a huge sort of signature of us. When you come down the drive, you turn the turning circle, you drop your bags off, someone takes them, puts them on a trolley or a buggy. That wasn't there. So it was to try and just then the education of why that was, and some of that was signage. But I think as well, some of it was that there was not too much signage, because we still wanted to come down here and have leisure, feel safe, yes. But sometimes it was an escape from people. Now, whether they were at home or they were getting away from home or they were still working, we wanted it not to be so much in your face, rules and rules and rules. It was the balance of maintaining the rules and the regulations that we were open under, also respecting the customer to try and come down and enjoy himself in a leisure time. But then, as you say, you know, the standards were difficult, because so much of our standards are built on touch points. The customer service at the gate, the bag drop, the club cleaning, the shoe cleaning. Then when the customer finishes, the clubs go back up to the bag drop and they can return to their car. That wasn't there. You know, even putting their golf bags on an electric trolley or putting their golf bags on the back of a golf cart, we couldn't do that. So there was a degree of, internally from ourselves, a bit of frustration that we couldn't give the same standards, but I think people quite quickly became used to it. And what I guess what the nice thing is that now we can start integrating some of that back into the operation, and actually people are really respectful and really appreciative of it. So it's been a good balance. We've done it 3 times, so it's never easy, but I guess if you said to me a year ago, we'd have had an SOP, a standard operating procedure for a lockdown and a pre-opening, I'd have looked at you and said, you're crazy. But we have those now, so we utilize those really, really well. To look at the customer journey now, it has changed. Will we ever get back? You know, and you liken it to say that, as you say, hotels and the hospitality industry, you look at when you go to restaurants, things are very, very different now. I think technology is a huge part, and then embracing technology further. I know when the first lockdown, when we opened in May last year, a lot of golf clubs and other golf clubs were scrambling to say get online tee times, or even some golf clubs were even to have an electronic tee sheet, because some didn't have that. So we all needed to embrace technology quicker than we thought we would, and indeed some of the other golf clubs. So for things like now, will I ever see a menu, actually a paper menu or a menu in a menu holder or a wine list in our restaurant, or indeed in our spike bar? Probably not, because we now have the basis of the QR code as a customer. Probably 95% more of the customers when they come to us have the phone, so they scan the QR code, the menu's there, and whether that's be the menu or the wine list, they can then utilize that. Other enhancements, similar things with the drinks buggy, and it being able to pay using an app. You know, all those things, I guess, have changed the customer journey. And part of you is at times resistant, because I think any high level of customer service is about interpersonal relationships and the personal service. With so much technology coming on board now, is it something that, hang on a minute, then there isn't so much customer service, and it's almost that, could Could the golf operation be managed from sitting at a desk in front of a keyboard? Potentially it could if you embraced every element of technology, but is that like calling a call center somewhere where you don't get the interpersonal touch? And a lot of companies have looked at technology to say, this will benefit you by this, or this will benefit you this way. But they're all looking at it to benefit you because it's actually going to take the service away and streamline the service. And I think we've taken a view, no, we need to maintain the level of customer service that we've based our business on. But in relation to, I guess, the question, it's streamlining it using technology that we think will actually add to the journey, as opposed to actually looking at it from a hard business reason. I should say, well, that will help reduce headcount, because I don't think that's the business. I don't think that's the business that we're in at the moment. I mean, we've had a huge spike, as most golf clubs, in the number of people playing, the number of members. So I think we need more people, in and around the business to be interacting with new members and customers.